Coming up for this one, and it is, of course, Davai Lama, the offlaner for Dota 2 Hustlers, the man who I look up to throat singing, the man with the best cameos in TI. How are you doing, man?
Thank you.
Coming up with a victory from this one and forcing out the tiebreakers.
I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. Obviously, we suffered a pretty crushing defeat 2 days ago. We didn't have a great day today. Didn't play our best, but in the end, we managed to get the victory. So about as good as we can feel.
I think that's the most important part, is you're still ranking out the W's on the board, but talk to us about the series as a whole. The way that you started it off and how you kind of got yourselves back in that game too. It was pretty heavily going on the side of Watermoon enjoyers. Was that the real winning moment for you guys? Or did you feel like already in game 1 or game 2 that no worries, we can still handle whatever is thrown our way?
I mean, we had a spec, right? Like we realized that we do have comeback potential. We're kind of just feeding. Like we didn't make any good plays. We were just feeding our brains out. It was just a terrible game that we played, but in the end, we had a pretty good skilling graph to be that one decent defense, and after that, we're the better team. We out executed them, out rotated them on the map. So as soon as they fed us once, and we had a fat spectre, I feel like the game was pretty easy after that. But before that, we were feeding, and game was it's scary.
Oh, you got the package together, so bringing out that one for Gezu. What do you have in mind for Davai?
Yo, what up, sir? I think, first of all, you've improved a lot as a player. But I have 2 questions for you. First off, do you ever think that your emotions disrupt your gameplay? You seem like you're a very emotional player. Like, we can see it on the camera. Do you think that, what is the balance there? Do you feel like it sometimes hurts you in the game? Or is it more like it's only after the game that you let those emotions, kick in?
It happens during the game. Obviously, emotions got to me in the order of the game 3. That was the worst game I ever played in my life. Arguably one of the most important games that I've ever played, and I played the worst. I mean, the reason why I played so poorly, I'll attribute just the fact that there was a lot of pressure. In the past, even in the last chance qualifier, I didn't choke that bad. I've never choked that bad. It's just a different situation, I guess. When I played at TA, for example, you're there at the boot camp. We're the underdogs. There's no pressure. There's no real pressure in us, right? We're just there to play our best. We have a sponsor. I have a livelihood now. I made the switch to Europe. And I gave up. My spot in Division 1. Which, gives you a more stable income. To try and get to Division 1 in Europe and try and find a good sponsor. But we haven't finalized a sponsor yet. So my livelihood is somewhat on the line by these games. So I'll say that that's one of the main reasons why perhaps we're not playing up our fullest potential. We're not at a boot camp. I'm just at home. We lost to 2 teams that that they were in the boot camp. That have a very, very good income. They don't have to worry about their about the fact that they can afford their their own place. I think for me that's probably one of the reasons. I try not to, I just try to focus on the Dota. I try to just take it game by game, but I guess in the background those things do they do get you.
No, for sure. I mean, pressure is it might just take some time, but it's fair. You have more to worry about than maybe some other players. I have only one more quick follow-up. So regarding the last game of the OT series, you guys picked Lycan there, which I think was a cool pick, but it surprised me a little bit. I thought maybe you would be considering some TB or CK. Could you walk me a little bit through the Lycan pick? I mean, you guys picked it today as well, so obviously you guys see something in this hero.
Yeah, we just think Lycan's a strong hero in general. That game just looked like a very good Lycan carry game. I guess Chad saw it and he wanted it. We just looked at the heroes. We looked at their carry morph, and we just said, we just thought CK TB, they probably won't scale as well versus their heroes. They have a lot of stuns. They'll have last pick to counter. Any potential carry, and we thought Lycan would be the best. I feel the Lycan was pretty effective that game. We just messed up the early game again. We had a way bigger lead that game, and it would have looked a lot better if we didn't we didn't have to go for late game. Obviously in late game we still had a pretty decent scaling draft, but I don't know how. I just missed like 3 black holes in a row. Yeah. So yeah.
All good, sir. Don't worry. Thanks for the answers.
So I have a question for you, Davai. First of all, hello, Davai. How's it going? You guys won the series. You look like you're very sad, but you did win, so that's pretty good. I just wanted to check in with you real quickly about your TI experience as well, because you brought it up. I had like some interesting questions about it, and I was wondering about like the mental aspect to it, because you mentioned that in that one you didn't feel like you sort of had the same, maybe not the same pressure, but the same type of. You said you didn't choke as hard. You didn't have that feeling with you as much.
Yeah, I mean pressure. I mean it's really like because of the pressure, like that's why you underperform and sometimes. And
right. Well,
yeah, I think it's all.
And
related.
so the thing that I kind of wanted to ask about was what was that experience like in terms of you're talking about now wanting to become this like Div 1 team. You want to become this team that can get sponsors, that can go to these tournaments. What was it like actually being there in person, getting to experience going to an event? Was it what you kind of hoped that it would be? Was it what you were expecting from it? And, how much did that encourage you to sort of try out for what you're doing now, moving over to Europe?
My TI experience was great. Like, I mean, like we came in as like the third place team from one of the weakest regions. So we were like, like arguably like top 3, top 4 weakest teams there. So we were pretty lucky to go. Last chance qualifiers. It's an awesome concept. I hope they do it again. So everything was pretty low pressure, but we, so even though we didn't get any prize money and I didn't get to play any games on stage, all the rest was up to like very high standards. Like the hotel was great. The games were great. Everything was very professional. It was quite an experience to be there. Like it was like my first real LAN actually, and big LAN. And all the best players in the world are there. You see them. They're there when you're lunching. You just see players. Like it was just a great experience. Like I like just reflected back like on my career, and I was I remember like 5 years ago, like I was just like some or maybe 6 or 7. I was like some kid, and I got into it I got into a game with Artesia or something, and I would be like, "Whoa, I'm in a game with a professional player! Whoa, I've made it!" And then like I'm sitting there like in a 5-star hotel, like playing at and I'm like, "Oh, now this guy's eating, is lunching next to me." It's pretty cool. I'm very happy where I am right now, and yeah, it was also just learn full experience, right? Like you play a TI, you play some of the best teams in the world, and you learn that those other teams, they're beatable as well if you
right.
play your best.
And that's one thing I wanted to the last question I have, I promise, is when you played in those qualifiers, people came in low expectations of you, but you were able to, even though you didn't win a full series, take games off of Virtus Pro, who ended up like getting in towards the finals. You took 1 game off of them and tied up in the best of 2.
We did win a series against Polaris.
Right, sorry, my bad. I'm so sorry.
I
was just talking about the group stage stuff. Please don't kill me.
It's all good. It's all good.
So I'm wondering, how much confidence did that give you guys in your own gameplay? Because when you were showing yourself on those cameras and stuff, you were popping off all the time. Did it give you a bunch of confidence?
For sure. Playing a TI and boot camping, like being in like a focused environment, such a serious like professional environment, like give me more motivation than ever.
Cool. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
I got to think of some questions now. Hello, Davai. How you doing? All right. So my question would be, what was I guess the big motivation? You've already spoke about the going to your first LAN stuff, but moving from, let's say, like NA to Europe, like everything you're describing, a strong team in NA, you could get there quicker. But instead, you decided to come to the competitive, like a more competitive region. Is that because you wanted the challenge and to find improvement? Like, what was the thought process in moving from like NA to Europe?
I mean, I just looked at both the teams that I could play with. I had like 2 real options, right? Like 2 options that I was considering, like continuing with like wildcard, like some reformed block roster, because like it was already kind of falling apart. The Sammy boy didn't want to continue playing 5. He did in the end start playing 5. Don't know what happened there, but he told me he was gonna quit playing 5. So, and Lo went back to SA. So the roster had to be like reformed, and we tried out some scrims, but the roster there, I wasn't like a huge believer in it. you know, it was nice to have like the a small salary there in Wildcard and like have the secure upper division money, but I didn't really believe in the team that was going to play in A. So, and I just tried out, playing with some European players and E2CL, right after TI. And I played with Mirage and Shad and with Alex as well. Can you play with him? And yeah, I just thought it would be a way better team, and I believed in, like on short term, it was like like a more risky decision, I would say. Like we had to buy a slot because we couldn't play qualifiers. I paid for the slot out of my own bank account. Like everything considered, it was pretty risky, but I did it because I believe in the players in this team. Like
You believed,
I really believe in this team. I just try to think long term. What team is gonna have the most success on the long term, and I thought this team in Europe would be more successful.
That's fair. All right, you talk about belief. Go quick. You're potentially playing tiebreakers against Alliance and maybe Manaspa. Are you going to win the tiebreakers? Are you going to take D2 Hustlers into Division 1 and have to rebrand once again to D1 Hustlers like you did in NA?
Well, we did rebrand, actually. Before we were able to rebrand, we found a sponsor, so hopefully that happens again.
True that. But come on, hit me with the answer. Are you going Division 1 this tour?
I don't know. I hope so.
Oh, come on, man. I was hoping for like hype yes, but all right, okay.
Yeah, man, is keeping his feet on the ground. Appreciate for that. Davai Lama, you're the only... I lived in Belgium for 3 years. I did not run into a throat singer until I met you. So congratulations with your win here. And let's see how you fare with those tiebreakers. Get yourself prepared for that one as well. So congratulations on the win here, and thanks for taking the time to talk with us.
Thank you very much. See ya.
See ya.
That was Davai Lama as...
Look who's back! Here, have an arrow! No, in fact, have two.